Alright, this is IMAX Nation 1980 here. This time I pulled out some rather different records, and I pulled out some records that most people will know. Let's start. This is a Beatles 45 on Parlophone, an original. This is I Wanna Hold Your Hand. And on the B side of this is This Boy. Alright, this is Paul Lavalle's Concert in the Park, which is from 1954, I think. It's on RCA Victor, and it's one of the only 10-inch records I have in my collection. Alright, this is AC/DC's Back in Black, one of the best-selling albums ever. There's the title there. This is the Beatles, 1967 to 1970. This is the reissue from 1978, as it has blue vinyl. And I can't show it to you in this video, but I do have it in another video if you want to see those in full detail. Hold on 1 second. This is Blue Oyster Cult, Fire of Unknown Origin, from 1981. Very well-known album. This is Buck Owens and His Buckaroos, Open Up Your Heart. This is Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman Howe, who are members of Yes, and Roger Dean came back to do the album cover again. It's a pretty cool album. This is Best of the Beach Boys, never opened. This is Tea for the Tillerman by Cat Stevens. This is Frank Sinatra's Come Back to Sorrento. This is the Deliverance soundtrack featuring dueling banjos. The soundtrack is by Eric Weissberg and Steve Mandell. This is Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band's Stranger in Town, which has one of his well-known hits, Old Time Rock and Roll. This is Nantucket, Long Way to the Top. That's a pretty sick album cover. Let me show it to you in full detail here. This is Elvis Costello's Spike. Paul McCartney makes an appearance on this album, and Elvis Costello appeared on Paul McCartney's Flowers in the Dirt. Both of these, I think, came out the same year. It's got the shrink on it. It's in really good condition. This is The Return of Bert and I, which is like a comedy record of sorts. I did a little research on it, and I think this album is by Bob, Bert, Bryan, and Marshall Dodge, and it's like a comedy record with different stories on it. It's pretty interesting nonetheless, though. This is Frank Zappa's Studio Tan. There's a whole story behind this album, and it's often convoluted. This and 3 other Zappa albums from the time. This is Boz Scaggs, Middleman. Never opened. This is the soundtrack to Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey. One of my favorite films, actually. This is Three Dog Nights, Suitable for Framing, featuring Easy to Be Hard, one of their biggest hits. This is the Beatles' Yellow Submarine soundtrack. The awesome animated film of the same name. This is the British edition, too. So that's pretty good. This is Jefferson Airplane's Bark. Still in the bag. In very good condition. Grand Funk Railroad's On Time, which is their debut album. It's not in very good condition, unfortunately. This is on The Language and Music of the Wolves, which is a pretty interesting album, to say the least. The reason I got it is because it was very interesting. Most of the album is wolf noise and sound effects and howling, and a narrated piece by Robert Redford at the end. It's a very interesting album, that's why I added it to the collection. This is John Lennon Plastic Ono Band from 1970. John Lennon's first true solo album after 4 avant-garde albums. Well, actually the 4th album was a live album, but this is considered his first true solo album. This is Classic Yes. It's a compilation album. More epic Roger Dean cover art right here. This is the All in the Family soundtrack. The reason I added this to the collection was because I liked the theme song and I didn't even know the soundtrack existed on record. This is Supertramp, Breakfast in America, their most popular album. Had a lot of hits on it. Nice album cover too. Alright. This is Paul McCartney and Wings, Wildlife, which was not a very successful album for him. But I think it's a pretty decent album. It's in very good condition. David Frye's I Am the President. David Frye usually did comedic imitations of politicians, and he had quite a couple records where he imitated Nixon, so it's pretty interesting there. This is ZZ Top's Eliminator, a huge album, had a lot of hit singles on it. Sonny and Cher, All I Ever Need Is You. It's in very, very good condition. This is Parliament, Mothership Connection. Another big album for its time. Has a Tear the Roof Off the Sucker on it and Give Up the Funk. It's a well-known album. This is Joan Baez, 5. It's not in that great condition, but this is the Beach Boys' self-titled album from 1985 featuring the minor hit Get Ya Back. This is the Stray Cats, Built for Speed, their first American album, featuring their biggest hits from the time, Stray Cats Strut and Rock This Town. This is Chubby Checker and Bobby Rydell. It's a pretty good record. And this is Tim Hardin, 4. Alright, and that was it.